Hello and welcome to Inside Katsina on Trust TV. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Now, when we talk of societal development, a lot of things come to mind, from economic empowerment to the provision of basic needs of the people and even human capital development. But one thing always stands out, and that is the guarantee of affordable, qualitative education. The government of Katsina State, under the leadership of His Excellency Governor Aminu Bello Masari, has identified the need to have a well-educated populace and thus set about making substantial investments in the sector by inaugurating new policies and programs and also strengthening existing agencies and educational institutions to reposition them to ensure the people of Katsina gain the benefits of having access to qualitative and affordable education. Now, one of such educational institutions that has received priority attention is the Katsina State Institute of Technology and Management. On this episode of Inside Katsina, we sit down with Dr. Babangida Abubakar Al-Baba, the Rector, Katsina State Institute of Technology and Management. And he takes us through how the institution is going about contributing to the overall well-being of the people of Katsina State through ensuring that students in Katsina State have a fully functional educational institution that is committed towards ensuring the upliftment of higher education as it relates to information technology and management. Let's take a look.
The Katsina State Institute of Technology and Management was established in 2015 to cater for the manpower needed, the skills manpower needed in IT and management. As you are aware now, technology is the driving force of any development, and the institute was established to cater for those skills that the state government, the federal, and even overseas that require in terms of developmental projects as concerned. The IT-related program and the management skills. That's why it's called with the dual specialization on that area. And when it's come on board 2015, the first rector, the pioneer rector, was Mr. Liu Sumeng from Singapore. The government appointed him to steer the operation of the institute at that time. And after his first completion of the first tenure of 2 years, then the government appointed me to continue overseeing the institute. The mandate of the institute, as I said earlier on, to certify professionals to provide trainings on IT and management-related courses. Not only that, also to provide IT policy implementation of the states, to drive the IT policies in the state and to link with the relevant federal agencies that are responsible for the IT policy implementation and policy drafting at the federal level, which basically is what we have been doing. And also part of the mandate of the institute to collaborate with other professional bodies to provide certifications on the professional bodies like Cisco Academy, Huawei Academy, Oracle, Microsoft, and other professional, worldwide recognized professional bodies that certify individuals, which the Institute is part of its mandate to do that. And well, in general, we are, by the law, allowed us to participate, to collaborate, to have an MOU with any organization, institution, in order to promote IT and management activity in the institute, in the state, and the nation at large. When I first came in, I found out that the institute was residing at the temporary site, and there was a first intake of students of NID program. The institute started National Innovation Diploma Program, and this program is being supervised by the federal government agency that are responsible for supervising national certification at the diploma level, which is the National Board for Technical Education. And it's a new concept that was approved by the Federal Ministry of Education to introduce NID. And Katsina State, I'm happy to say this, is one of the few states that quickly, accepted and adopted that policy because they have seen the benefit of it. What people are mostly aware of is a conventional national diploma, but this one is national innovation diploma. There are innovation included. So it's a national diploma that has more practical, more skill-oriented than the normal ordinary diploma. And the federal government approved this because they realized that even the national diploma and the higher national diploma have not achieved what was expected of them in terms of practical skills, to provide skills levels, to provide the technological aspect of technology that we are looking at. So now they come up with the national innovation diplomas. And this national innovation diploma has 70% practical and 30% theory. And it has the same level of national diploma in terms of entry requirement for the program itself and for the higher courses for the HND or HNID or degree program. Not only that, they have the same requirement in terms of scheme of services concerned. Even the federal government scheme of service now recognizes national innovation diploma as the same level with the national diploma. So Katsina State is one of the very few states that started. So this, when I came in, I found out that the institute has already received a license, operational license from MBT to start 3 programs in NID. That is National Innovation Diploma in Banking Operations, National Diploma, Innovation Diploma in Network and System Security, and National Innovation Diploma in Computer Software Engineering. These are the 3 programs I met up when I came on board. It was only 76 students all in these 3 courses. So this is what I started. I met with there was a management team and staff at that time about 65 academic and non-academic staff of the institute have been employed. So that's exactly how I met the institute. From there, what I did as soon as I first came in, and having dual experience of learning environment and working environment, that I study in Nigeria and abroad, and I work in Nigeria and abroad as well. So I already glanced a lot of opportunities for the institute to grow. So, but at that time when I first came in, I found out that the institute was about to have an accreditation for these 3 programs. And accreditation is the background of any institute. So what I did was I set up a mock accreditation team to come up with some of the deficiency of the course that started running. Because when you have a first intake, as soon as they finish their first year, you need to do accreditation when they are in the second year. Otherwise, the MBTE will close the programs. And when it closes the program, it means it's closed the institute. So I focuses on that. And alhamdulillah, within very few months that I came in, I was able to employ about 29 additional staff for the are required for the programs, and under the approval of the government, obviously. And we were able to get our programs fully accredited. And that was the first thing. And the second thing I did was to come up with the 5-year plan for the institute. Where are we at that time? And where are we heading to? Which the 5-year plans at that time, 2017 to 2022. And during that 5-year plan, I look at, one, collaboration first with the immediate environment. So how do we collaborate with other stakeholders in the state to be able to promote IT? Because the institute at that time were not even aware. People are not even aware of it. They didn't even know its existence. So the first thing I did, even to create awareness that we have something in the institute. So I went to a lot of media houses, discussions, telling people about the institute. And secondly, to write to all agencies that are related to the institute within the state. And outside the state, like Kaduna, Kano, Zamfara, all these states that we have other, borders with them. And also in Abuja, I was in PTDF, I was in NCC, I was in Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, I was in NIDA, I was in Ministry of then there wasn't a Ministry of Digital Economy, what was it? Ministry of Communications and what have you. We collaborate. That's why you will see even some of my visit with the former Minister of Communication, Adibai Shitu, whom we became very close at that time. So try to tell all stakeholders that we are here, we are ready. And alhamdulillah, that really yielded a lot of result because we received a lot of interventions through some of these agencies. I had about 220 laptops from NCC with 50 desktops, and we gave them a lab. They fully networked with the server, inverter, and what have you. And from NIDA, we have about 100 desktops, fully networked lab also with routers and switches. And equipments, a lot of equipment, 3D printers, PCB productions, machines, and what have you. There are a lot of equipment that NIDA provided to us at that time. And one other achievement was the Nigerian National Communication Council was held in Katsina in 2018, chaired by the Minister then of Communication, Adibai Shitu, which is all part of the effort that we made to tell people that Katsina, we are of age in terms of IT also. And at the state level, we tried to push up the draft IT policy, which the state considered and now implementing it. You see now most of the ministries and parastatals in the state have their own websites, official emails for correspondence, some data management system. This is what we are pushing, and we can see that a lot of agencies are doing. Again, we look at the collaboration with other international bodies. From the university that I was lecturing at the University of Brighton and the University of Salford that I was visiting at England. We were able to start collaboration of top-up programs. So our students, when they graduated from NID, they can be able to go there for an additional 2 years to have a degree, BSc degree in the related courses. And that was done when we invited them. They came here. We met in Abuja, and we had a discussion. We have a understanding, and we review our curriculums based on the standard and enrich it so that our students, if they apply, they can be able to get admission in those universities. So we established that, and alhamdulillah, some of our people have trained and examined and get the certificate from here. And immediately, when I saw the potentiality from the Chinese part, because Cisco is an American, networking company that is handling the networking aspect of the world now, because most of the equipment are their own equipment. So we look at the Huawei is coming up. This is the Chinese part of it. So we instantly embraced that. We took advantage of that and established a Huawei Academy. And in that. So these are some of it, some of the international collaboration we have. And within the institute, as I said, I made 3 programs. Now, alhamdulillah, we have 8 programs. I have added 5 already, 5 NID programs in multimedia technology, Islamic banking, NID multimedia technology, NID Islamic banking, NID hardware technology, NID security management, and NID business informatics. These are the 5 programs that I was able to add within this time frame.
Now, from the provision of an enabling environment to the successful collaborations with both local and international stakeholders, the Katsina State Institute for Technology and Management has taken giant strides in the area of making an impact in promoting information and communication technology in Katsina State. We'll take a break now, and when we return, Inside Katsina continues. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is still Inside Katsina on Trust TV, and we are in conversation with Dr. Babangida Abubakar Albaba, the Rector, Katsina State Institute of Technology and Management, where he gave us an overview of the Institute's mandate and some of its successes that it has already recorded so far. Now let's hear more on what the Institute has been able to achieve under his stewardship.
Another giant achievement that we had was movement from the temporary site to the permanent site. And when we had our first matriculation, the maiden matriculation, and I invited His Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, Right Honorable Aminu Bello Masari, and the matriculation, and I was very happy that he graciously, attended that. It was a matriculation, not a graduation, but he came. And I strategically designed the matriculation to hold in the permanent site, where we were at the temporary site. When he first came in, he looked at some of the infrastructure that has not been completed there, and then he directed the supervising department at that time of the Department of Science and Technology to come over and complete some part of the ongoing project so that the institute can be able to move from the temporary to the permanent site. Alhamdulillah with that, and with that directives, and in fact he came on the air, he gave directives that we should make sure that we pack and move to our permanent site. So with that directives, we are able to come up on board to make sure that we can be able to start our program here. And that's how we made it. Now we are almost, 4 years here, which is really an achievement, coming to the permanent site. So these are some of the, obviously a lot of achievement that we have recorded so far within this time, which there are some basic more in terms of equipment development. Our laboratory, when I first came in, I only had 60 computers in the institute. Now I have about 700 computers, both laptop and desktop. I have a lot of equipment that I have mentioned earlier that we don't have any at that time. 3D printing, PVC production, machines, a lot of machines that we were able to get, and we're using it for our students. And the testimony that we have from the parents and we are really happy, and I want to use the opportunity to appreciate our lecturers whom are there for the student, teaching them the right skills, because our aim is for our student to graduate and go and establish their own business, and there are a lot of them. Just last 2 weeks, when one of the parents came in from Funtua, I don't know him. He told me that his child finished from NID Multimedia Technology. Now he established a center in his place in Funtua. He had about 3 people within the family that are working for him. Video recording, film editing, all these jingles, production, what have you, which was, I felt amazed that, okay, he said after 1 year, in fact, he don't think his child will go to work for any government agency from what he is earning from that job. So this is some of the testimony that keep us moving, keep us running, keep us going, and we'll continue to do that within the time that I have, inshallah, as the head of the institute. When you go outside this country, you find out that most of their courses are tuned with the reality of the world, are tuned with the requirement of the labor market, are tuned with the requirement of the industry. And I was opportune to come to this institute with a specialized environment. And being the pioneer, indigenous head of the institute with this experience, it was a simple opportunity for me to make sure that whatever we are bringing, even as you said, whatever we are bringing is in line with what the industry is requiring, what the world is needed now, not just to bring any other course. And we have more of these courses, I'm telling you. I have it already, it's just that you have to take them gradually. If I should tell you, inshallah, very soon as we mount these 5 ND programs, the next program are something like mechatronics technology. Look at some of the books that I have here. They are all for mechatronics. I have them all here. You see? You see? This is this sensor and actuator for embedded system mechatronics. All these are mechatronics for beginners. So this is what I do. I do have plan ahead of the time and knowing what are the programs that MBTE is giving accreditation for, and how relevant are they in the industry, in the market, in the labor market. And looking at that, then I'll put all my resources, all my energy towards that. So this is what I do. I just come up with a team. I want us to do this program. Find out the requirement. How can you meet up with that requirement? And we plan. Within some times, we are able to come up with this. So that's why you see that we are able to come up with so many of these unique courses, unique program. When you look at it, why do you find Islamic banking? I think it's only Buki that started. This is something that our immediate environment is looking for. When you go to banking operation, this is a course that if you've been graduated from there, you don't need any training to go to the bank, to any bank. As long as you enter to that bank, you find the same environment. Because in here, we have a banking hall. We have our money. We have our bulk room. We have our safes. We have everything as a bank. We have tellers. We have cashier. We have manager. We have everybody. And this is how the student practice. Sometimes a student be the manager of the bank. Sometimes he's the customer care. Sometimes he is the teller. Sometimes he's the payer. So as soon as and we have the system, well networked with the computer and everything with the bank software. So when you just take them to any bank, they are already familiar with that. So this is how we do our training. It's just hands-on skills. You don't need any additional training for that. When you go to our software engineers, before they graduated, they must come up with some application. They must come up with some applications. For the networks and system security, when you go to our network lab, it's all equipped with real router switches, so that a student can be able to configure real router, real switch, not only on simulation. We have other softwares that we gave them in the computer lab. They go and do the simulation of this configuration, but you can have access also to the real router interfaces and configure them to make sure that, so they are all skills oriented. And why, as answering your first question, why and what informed me to this is my dual experience, and as well as, plan. Whenever you have a plan, if you didn't plan, you plan to fail. So if you plan, inshallah, you succeed. It may not be 100% as expected, but definitely to some extent, inshallah, you achieve to some extent. Anything good is not easy, but I assured you, that's one good thing I was very, very fortunate to have. When I first came in here, when I wanted to do my recruitment, I still remember those days. That was one of my greatest days that I always remember. I went to His Excellency after the approval was granted to me and told him, sir, I came to appreciate the approval to employ those people, but I still want to solicit your support in that. So whatever we are doing, I want to do this on merit. He asked me some questions. And how am I going? So how do you want to do that? How do you want to achieve that? And I gave him, because I was ready for it. I wanted to advertise, and I would tell anybody that is interested to come and do. We will do an aptitude test first, then we'll do an interview, then we'll select the best. He said, go and do that. And since then till today, he has never interfered in our recruitment exercise. And I used that our council was ready for that. They all accepted it. My manager all accepted it. So we did. In fact, the very first time when we do advert, a lot of people call me, Allah, why do you have to do that? Because they don't even know. I told them, if you wanted to ask anybody to apply, he will see whether we are serious or not. And let me tell you something, wallahi, I was very happy with that decision that I made and the support that I got from His Excellency on that regard. Because that will lead our, progression. No matter how much I had the desire to do it, if I didn't get the right people there, I will not be able to do that. So yes, it's not easy. It's difficult. There are a lot of pressure from all over, sending CVs and what have you. But since the number one citizen giving me his support, and I leveraged on that, I stood my feet on that. I'm telling you, these are all my legacies. I already have a 5-year plan, and now I've extended that plan to the time that I am finishing, inshallah, in 2024, God's willing. And this state fund, this program, this expansion, this mechatronics, Center of Excellence is one thing that I'm looking at. And alhamdulillah, recently, because I was thinking how, if I get the TED fund, I will come and have a Center of Excellence in this institute. So luckily now, the NIDA, under the framework of communication and digital economy, build a place close to Polytechnic, in the Polytechnic side, and give to the state government and the governor, passionately looking at what the institute is doing. He directed that the center should be given to us. Now we are transforming it as our center of excellence. Currently now, in that center, need to give me only 6 computers, but I'm telling you, I have additional 100 laptops and 60 desktop computers. I relocated my Huawei Academy and Cisco Academy to that. I already established a person examination center in that place. We are now currently giving the training, like recently we have just concluded training for Agile, for the teachers in Agile, and we are about to do a training sponsored by PTDF for the whole nation, 50 participants from each state. So we are starting with Katsina and Zamfara in January the 9th. After we finish that, then each zone will be producing 50-50 person, and we are going to do it. So this is some of the area that I was looking at, and it's a legacy, inshallah, that I wanted to complete it within the time frame. But all these achievements are my legacies, and I'll always, inshallah, hope to remember them and smile that yes, I was able to achieve this little, and because I believe whoever is coming after me will do better than me.
Indeed, no society can truly claim to be fully or even partially developed without having a well-educated population. And the administration of Governor Aminu Bello Masari is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that students both within and outside Katsina State are given the opportunity to have an educational institution that will ensure the state is at the forefront of information and technology development. Now, that's so much we can take on this episode of Inside Katsina on Trust TV. Join us again next time as we turn the searchlight on another sector being impacted positively by the restoration agenda of Governor Aminu Bello Masari in Katsina State. Until then, I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.